This is the last fragrance breakdown you'll ever actually need. People love to make colognes way more complicated than they have any right to be. So here's the game plan. First, I'll show you everything you must understand before you buy anything. Then, we'll look at how to choose properly. And finally, the scents I actually think are worth your money. Fragrances are usually divided into two big categories: warm weather scents and cold weather scents. Warm weather picks are lighter, fresher, and designed to not suffocate anyone when the temperature turns your city into a sauna. Think citrus, herbs, coconut, stuff that feels clean. Cold weather scents are the opposite: richer, sweeter, heavier. These are bold, loud fragrances that cut through the cold instead of disappearing into it. And yes, some scents sit in the middle, but we'll get to that later. Now, if you're new to this, you might be wondering, why can't I just wear whatever I want whenever I want? Because strong winter scents and blazing heat will choke everyone within a 10-meter radius. And on the other hand, those soft summer scents basically evaporate in freezing weather. People won't smell anything. You'll also see labels like day or night, but realistically, these just match the warm-cold rule. Day usually pairs with fresh, summer-safe scents, and night is usually the heavier, winter-leaning ones. Next, let's talk about those random letters on bottles. EDP, EDT, extrait. These are just concentration levels. In simple terms, how much actual fragrance oil is inside the juice? Higher concentration usually means longer performance. But here's the mistake beginners make. If a fragrance comes in both EDT and EDP, don't assume the stronger one is automatically better. They're often completely different interpretations. Treat them as separate fragrances, even if the names are nearly identical. If you want a collection that actually works, or even just two scents you can rotate, you need a bit of strategy. Not overthinking, just choosing with intention so your lineup stays versatile, even if it's tiny. Trust me, you don't want to be the guy blasting a sugary club scent at 7 a.m. on a treadmill. Nobody wins in that situation. So let's break down how to build a collection from a single bottle all the way up to 5. Because realistically, if you choose smart, that's about all you'll ever need. If you want one fragrance to handle every situation, skip the loud, heavy stuff. With a one-bottle wardrobe, your safest play is something fresh. Fresh scents fit anywhere, anytime. And honestly, it's way better to smell clean in every scenario than to walk around smelling like dessert at a dentist appointment. Plus, if you're new to fragrances, your nose will almost always gravitate toward fresher compositions anyway. Here are 3 solid picks for a one-bottle setup. This one, this one, and this one if you're younger or want something that leans a bit sweeter without going overboard. Once you upgrade to 2 fragrances, that's when you can actually split by season, or by day/night. This is where you add a sweeter, heavier scent next to your fresh one. Winter scents are extremely useful, not because they work in the heat, they don't, but because when you're going on a date or a night out, smelling warm, sweet, and inviting is miles better than smelling like a bar of soap. After that, building out to 3, 4, or 5 bottles is where you can start having fun. Maybe you want a special occasion scent that turns heads. Maybe you want something clean and formal for office settings. Maybe you discover a darker winter scent that you fall in love with and just want to own. At this point, you can tailor your lineup however you want. It's really not that serious. And hey, if you've watched this far, clearly you're enjoying the breakdown, so consider subscribing. It genuinely helps the channel more than you think. All right, next I'll give you 3 quick general rules about fragrances. And then we'll get into the good part, my actual recommendations. First tip: heavy, sweet scents usually only need about 3 sprays, one on each side of your neck where your pulse sits, and one on the inside of your wrist. Lightly tap wrists together so both hands get a bit of coverage. Every fragrance behaves differently. Some need more, some need less. But 3 sprays is the safest starting point for anything on the stronger side. Second tip: fresher fragrances normally need around 5 sprays because they're naturally lighter. Use the same 3 main spots, add one to the back of your neck, and throw in an extra wrist spray if you feel like it. But again, not all fresh scents are created equal. Some are surprisingly powerful, others fade fast. Adjust depending on what you're wearing. Third tip: brush your teeth and use an unscented deodorant. Sounds obvious, but a mismatched deodorant can completely wreck the scent you just spent good money on. Now, The recommendations? For summer, a few easy wins are Nautica Voyage, Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, and if you want something higher end, Creed Virgin Island Water. For winter, check out Invictus Victory Elixir, Le Mal Le Parfum from JPG, and one of my personal favorites, Initio Side Effect. If you want something more formal, you can't go wrong with YSL, Tuxedo, Prada Luna Rosa EDT, or Leighton by Parfums de Marly. For special occasions or nights out, look at Stronger With You Intensely by Armani, Angel's Share by Kilian, Haultain by Parfums de Marly, and two bonus picks I genuinely recommend, Amouage Interlude Man, and of course, Creed Aventus. And if you enjoyed this guide, you'll probably enjoy the next video as well. Go check it out.